significant day for Tennessee. It addresses an issue about the collection of sales tax. This isn't a new tax. This tax was already due. This just is a question of Amazon collecting it themselves, which they will begin to do in 2 years. It also, and most significantly, is about 3,500 jobs for Tennesseans in a very difficult environment. So we're thrilled with this agreement. We think, like I said, it's great for the state of Tennessee, and it's great for the company as well.
Governor, do you know if those new jobs might be coming?
We don't yet. Our Economic and Community Development Department is working with Amazon to see where the locations. There'll probably be something like what they've done in Hamilton Bradley, where they have 2 different facilities, one a sorting facility, one for books and things, one a non-sorting facility for larger items that they sell, probably in close location to each other, like they are in Hamilton and Bradley. But that location hasn't been determined yet.
Is it known whether it will be a continuation of what's going to be in Wilson County, or could it be elsewhere as well?
It could be elsewhere. They're looking for trying to determine the right site. What we know is it will be in Tennessee.
Governor, there are other online retailers. What does this say to them?
Well, I think that's a significant point. Of the online retail sales that are not being, where the tax is not being collected, Amazon's only about 10% of it. So there is a large other market out there. That's why my point about needing a national solution and that being the right answer, that's why I've always made that point, is it's not just about Amazon, it's about a national solution.
Governor.
Well, I mean, if you look, they've made different deals. I mean, South Carolina's is 4.5 years from now, and I think our situation is not the same as California's. They have they have an existing physical presence that's been there for years, so it's really not an apples and apples situation.
What else is part of this deal for Amazon? What is the state doing to keep them here as part of this?
There are no other incentive dollars involved. I think Commissioner Hackett.
There's some standard incentive dollars for job training and some basic infrastructure that will be associated with wherever the new sites are located. It would be on comparable terms to any of the business that's similar situation.
This is beyond what's already been done in Bradley, Hamilton, and Wilson, or
this is associated with incremental job additions. So we went from about a 1,500 job increment that was announced for those 2 projects to 3,500. So there's an additional 2,000 jobs. We've more than doubled the size of the project, so we will be training those people too.
Where are these new jobs?
They're going to be within the state of Tennessee. We're still working on the precise locations.
How many additional centers are you talking about? Earlier this year they said 3.
Right now, what's contemplated probably is 2 additional facilities.
Beyond the?
As I said, beyond Hamilton and Bradley.
And what about Wilson?
Not counting there.
So there'll be 2 more.
I said earlier, a location, a similar situation to what you have with Hamilton and Bradley, sorting facility in one location and non-sorting facility.
So how many people will be employed in the 3 facilities that have been announced?
Well, you have 1,500 in Hamilton, Bradley, somewhere 300 to 500, I think is what.
That's about where they are at this point. They're going to ramp up.
So it'd be an additional 1,500 if my math is correct. Probably, you said 1,500, 300 to 500, and then
right. So 1,500 Hamilton, Bradley, then 300 to 500 in Lebanon, where they're underway, and then this two new facilities that will roughly mirror what's going to happen in Hamilton, Bradley.
Sounds a lot like the Project Tango that's been discussed.
I can't ever keep up with all those names that ECD puts on stuff.
I think they do that with different projects also.
It does sound a lot like Project Tango.
Is it Project Tango?
Governor, in terms of Chattanooga, where they're going to be Bradley County, are there going to be additional jobs there? Is this envision that?
I don't think there's anything necessarily envisioned there because of this agreement. I think it just obviously confirms what they've done, and now we're all in agreement about exactly what Amazon's arrangement is going to be in Tennessee.
So if it is Project Tango, obviously the places that have been discussed are Murfreesboro, Weatherford County, Wilson County, and I think Loudoun County.
Well, I'll let Commissioner Haggerty comment if he wants, but I think there are several communities in Tennessee that have been interested and have been talking with Amazon, but I really don't think we're at that point where it's been narrowed to 2 or 3.
It's still a work in process on this.
How much of an issue do you think it will be getting this through the legislature? Is this a done deal, or do you think that?
Yeah, well, I would never presume to speak for the legislature. I mean, in our preliminary conversations, which we've had this morning with folks, I think it's gotten a really warm reception.
Kevin, do you regret agreeing to the original deal that exempted the sales tax indefinitely? Having gone through all this in the last 10 months?
No, I don't. As I said, you know, the world's changed since that point in time. They've agreed to expand and build a bigger presence. The national situation's changed. Our legislature weighed in with a voice. I actually think this is a really good solution that Commissioner Roberts and Commissioner Haggerty worked to a very sticky problem.
How would you have tried to do that agreement from the beginning if you had done it yourself?
I don't think it's fair to go back and do that. I mean, it's always, you know, all of us are, you know, great quarterbacks on Monday, but I think, you know, the state has ended up with a really good situation.
Did you feel how difficult was the, talk?
You know, I don't know if Commissioner Roberts wants to comment on how difficult it was.
It was challenging, but forthright, and Amazon was appropriately focused on their business, and we think we met a good middle ground.
Was the deal pretty much hammered out prior to the issuance of this Attorney General's opinion?
Yeah, that's fair. We were 98% of the way done prior to that.
Would you be going to the legislature absent the AG's opinion?
I think we probably would. I see our legal counsel back there, Mr. Slater. He might have been. It was my understanding that we still would have gone to the legislature with the deal that we had negotiated with them.
But it sure seems like with this rule or with this opinion released just a day or so ago that it had, was it the final nail?
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, we were, like I said, practically done by that point in time anyway.
My understanding is that you had gone pretty much all the way, and then the California thing happened, which sort of put things off because Amazon was consumed with that.
I think that maybe, again, Commissioner Arthur would comment on that.
I think it helped our case, but conversations had progressed by that point. As the governor said, they're final. California certainly helped. The AG's opinion is confirmed of the way we interpret the law and legislation.
But I mean, if California hadn't happened, do you think that you would have had the agreement earlier that, that the company's resources?
Well, it did occupy some of their time, but I think again, having another state have some circumstance helps us.
And I think it did. Paul Meisner's one. I mean, that's his job, and so it's obviously there's going to be one place.
Any reason to call former Governor Bredesen about what you?
I didn't. He and I have talked about this once in the last month or so. I just gave him an update on where we were in terms of the kind of ongoing negotiations.
You called him, or he called you?
We talk periodically, so it wasn't necessarily just about this.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Governor.